Hello everybody. Today I'm going to talk about ILF and what it is and what it consists of and where it came from. So, as our first demonstration piece, this is an ILF limb. It happens to be made by Hoyt, but we'll get into the variety of these limbs. So, what does ILF stand for? It varies a little bit based on, I guess, where you look. But in the end, it stands for International Limb Fit, or International Limb Fixture, or Fitting. They like to change the last F word all the time. But pretty much, it's how the dovetail is set up and how that dovetail clicks into the riser, and how ILF has standardized the archery industry. This was developed by Earl Hoyt Jr., and over the last few decades it has been a staple of archery, and it has become a very important piece of keeping the industry together and on the same page, because with the ILF system you can interchange bow parts as long as the manufacturer says that the limbs or the risers are ILF. So to showcase this, I got a Hoyt and Hoyt here. Both ILF, they fit without a problem. Now there is other kinds of limbs out there. There is formula limbs and there is non-ILF limbs. I guess your other size. I don't know if there's an official name for these, but they clearly do not fit in. This is not going to attach appropriately into this riser. It doesn't even fit right, and it doesn't have all the correct bushings and fitting mechanisms to fit into the riser. So with an ILF limb, you get a variety of lengths that are standardized. You get a lot of different material types, and you get a lot of different manufacturers. So starting with the length, most ILF limbs come in a short, medium, and long. Some of the other manufacturers have gone into like extra small, or some little mid-size ranges between the two to help add some variety to the limb spectrum and allow for younger shooters, or shooters that are, I guess, abnormally tall or shorter because they're younger, for archery to be able to shoot and get a bow that fits them well. On the materials, most ILF companies are running the most modern stuff because the limbs are so standardized that anybody can buy them. So it makes them very popular. Anywhere from the high-end modern wood and carbon to carbon foam, and a whole bunch of different composite materials to help improve the performance of the recurve limb. Also, back onto the large variety of manufacturers, I will have a list in the description down below of the manufacturers I could find. There's probably a lot more out there. These are just some of the more well-known names that I could come up with and found in a list for you. So they may not all sell exclusively ILF limbs and risers, but they each offer at least one of both, or one of the other. So at least you have somewhere to start from. Now onto the variety of manufacturers and the combinations you can do. Here we have a Hoyt GMX riser, but we're shooting Korean limbs made by MK Archery. And this is possible because of ILF and how well it's standardized the limb industry and the riser industry too. Now, it's not just limbs. I could mix and match risers. I could stick a Korean riser on a Hoyt limbs, or I could go with something from Italy and put Korean limbs on it. You can go crazy with this. As long as it's ILF standard, you are good to go. Now when picking out limbs, either make sure that the product says that, or contact the manufacturer if you're unsure, and email them, hey, does so-and-so limb or riser, is it compatible? Is it the industry standard? That way you don't get stuck with buying something that is not going to work, because that's the worst feeling when you pay a lot of money for something and find out, great, I waited 2 weeks to get this in and it doesn't work. Hopefully this smoothed out some of the questions. I've gotten a lot of emails and stuff about, hey, what is ILF? What's the difference between that and other limbs? So this is my first video on it. I'll be making another video comparing it to a newer limb that Hoyt came out with called Formula. So stay tuned for that video because I'll be comparing ILF and Formula together. Well, I hope you enjoyed. Hope this video was helpful. Please like and subscribe, and as always, happy shooting.